Okay, hello. I want to start this video on Excel. It's going to be very basic. We will build to more and more skills as we go through this series, but this is going to be the first Excel video that I'm making for you. So, as you can see, I have an Excel sheet open. So now these are called sheets, and you can add sheets if you want. So this is sheet number one. If I double click on it, I can change the name of it. So I can change it to Christmas gifts. And you'll see that the top here, each of these, let's call these columns, are marked A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then if you look at the rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the parts that you can actually type into, we call each of these a cell. Okay. So if I want to make a spreadsheet, I'm not going to make a title for this spreadsheet in terms of merging cells or doing anything complicated. I'm really just going to make a very simple spreadsheet. And what we can do is sort of build on this spreadsheet as we go through a few different lessons. So for now, though, I want to make a spreadsheet about gifts. So what I will do is make it as simple as possible so that we can make sure that we are getting some experience and typing in cells and how to address some of the simple things in Excel. So, as I said, this is going to be sort of a chart of Christmas gifts. Now, you might think, oh, I can just make a table in Word. Well, as you'll see, um, Excel is sort of already set up for this. You can do some of this in Word, but not all of it. Certainly, Excel can do calculations, whereas Word cannot. So I would say for Word, it's best to use Word uh, if you're using it for processing of um, a word processor in terms of like typing a paper or something. If you want to do something with a chart, I would suggest use Excel. And you can sort of import export. Now, technically, I could take this cell right here and type anything I want into it. I can make a whole paper in Excel also, but it's not what it's built for. So I would be foolish to do something. And I would say it's the same with Word. Word is not built for the purpose of tables and charts and graphs. It can be done there, but this is the tool that's really meant for that. So, as I said, I'm going to start by thinking who is on my Christmas list and what I want to buy those people. And so in my family, um, we often use a very simple way to buy gifts for people. You get something uh, you want. Uh, Wait, how does it go? It's something to wear, something you want, something to read. There's a rhyme. I can't remember it right now, but it will come to me. Um, and it's like ends up being four things or something you buy somebody. So I'm going to make names, and then I'm going to make another part, which is all of these things that the person might want, and that's what I will sort of title these this part of the chart. So the thing to decide is on which axis do you want the information. So for our purposes, I'm not sure that it really matters uh, in terms of what I'm going to use. But what I will probably do is put on the the rows the um, the names, and on the columns I will put the different items. So if the first person I need to buy for is Gustav, and then I will skip a line. So I put a line in between each one just to make sure that there's some space so that it's easier to read. You don't have to do that, but it makes it a little bit easier. So now I have this where all the names are. And I can title this name up here if I want. And I can highlight it and make it bold. I can center it. So it's a lot of the same tools that you might find in Word. Um, if I highlight the cell, then I can center it there also. And if I want, I can make a space between there also if I just do insert. So that was the right click and then insert. Okay, so these are all the names going down. Uh, and then if I can put up here something you want, I know what it is. Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. Okay, so that was the little rhyme I was trying to think of, something like that. All right, but now this looks a little strange because of the spacing, right? So what we can do is I can erase all of this and add a space, or I can just click the whole row and then hit insert, and I will insert another one right before it. And then I can make this smaller. So if I just put my cursor next to it, like this, you'll see it'll change to a sizer. Um, okay, so now if I click this row and I do insert, I will then also have another one, and I can again just change the size of that to give a little bit of space. Um, it's not necessary, but it does make it easier to read, which I think is helpful. Okay, so again, just giving a little space. And in future videos, we can talk about coloring these also, which gives you a little bit of visual clarity. What you don't want is to create a spreadsheet that's difficult to read. So now the problem that we have is you really can't see the individual cells, right? So if I were to print this, what you would see is a blank page with these words on it around the corner, um, on the edges, I'm sorry. But now what I need to do is I need to, now that I have the elements of my spreadsheet, I can highlight the cells that are going to be within the printable space, right? And I'll just put one on the end of each. And then I go up to this box. You see this one here, which is the borders. So this is going to let me tell the computer which borders I want to see. Now I can say all borders, and then you can see right here, I can see all the different cells within my spreadsheet. And I can even these up if I want. And as I said before, I can change this so that I can actually have the spaces in between a different color. So if I want to highlight these cells in between, let me get this one on the end included. Okay, so I have that. And then I go to color and I choose a slightly different gray, right? So this might make it look like more of a uh, like bookkeeping. You may have seen this in a bookkeeping spreadsheet where every other line is a different color. And it doesn't mean you're not using those lines, but it just gives you some visual separation, which makes it easy. Now, if you want to be creative, you can make these any color you want. I'm just trying to keep it simple. So I will just make them a slightly different color gray. And then when this is printed in black and white, it still shows. Now, if you make this some kind of jazzy colors, but you print it in black and white, it's going to be uh, kind of grayscale anyway. So it's not really going to solve your problem. Okay, So now, what does Gustav want? Gustav wants Legos. Agnieszka wants jewelry. Malachi wants sneakers. Rhonda wants a Ferrari. Griffin wants toys. Mom wants a sweater. And Dad wants a boat. Some of these are big spending items. So you can see that none of these are centered. So perhaps I want to select this whole row and then go up to how I'm justifying it, and I want to center it. I also think it's a good idea to bold the kind of topics, right? So the thing in the middle is information, and these are my um, topics, right? So I can actually take this name off. It makes it a little bit clearer. I can also make them a different size. So if I want to distinguish them even more, I can increase the font maybe by one just to again distinguish it from the rest of the information. And you see where these intersect is what's giving me the information. And so what does Gustav, he wants Legos, but what does he need? Well, he needs pants. So he's going to get pants also. So now you see, I had just centered the this row, this column, sorry. And so when I'm typing in a new column, it's not centered. If I want everything to be centered, if I just again go back to here and select everything, then I can center everything, and everything will be centered. Now Agnieszka is not fitting within this box, right? Her name is long. So if I select this whole row and I go up here when it's selected as like the drag and I double click, it's going to make it big enough for the biggest thing in there. So I just double click it and it will make it larger to fit the largest. I can drag it myself, but if I just double click it, it'll do it automatically. So Agnieszka wants jewelry, but what she really needs is shoes. Malachi wants sneakers, but what he really needs are socks. You see, the needs are not always so interesting. Rhonda wants a Ferrari, but what she really needs is a computer. And maybe I've done the same here. So I'm going to go up here, make it double click, and made it a little bigger. Not so much bigger. What Griffin wants are toys. What he really needs is a new bed. He's a dog. What Mom wants is a sweater. What she needs is a, oh, I don't know. What she needs is a new spoon. She cooks a lot. What Dad wants is a boat. He needs a top. Okay, so what I'm buying so far are these things for people. Maybe I'll capitalize this. Okay, and something they want, something they need, something to wear, something to read. So now some of these people are already getting something to wear, but I'm not going to pay such close attention to the details here, people, because uh, what I can do also is I'll show you, make it easy. I can copy and paste just like I do in Word. Looks a little different when you're doing it. So I copied, and now I want to go here, and I can paste either by clicking again or by just doing Control V. And I can see a mistake here. I see I didn't color this. So I'll go in and fix that. Okay, so now we go to read, and we can put some books here. We can put in some names of some books. He wants Little Critter. We'll get Agnieszka the Bible. We'll get Malachi, J.R.R. Tolkien. We will get Rhonda, an Excel book. Rick Griffin's a dog. He can't read, so we'll put NA. We'll get Mom. uh, a book on capitalism. And we'll get Dad. Uh, the world is flat. And that one's very long. So I'm going to double click here and it will fit. Okay, so this is a way to create a very, very simple Excel spreadsheet that's easy to see. And as I said, in future lessons, we will continue to add to this, but this is a start. This is a good way to just see and understand how to use the cell, how to resize the cells, how to color cells, how to use some of the basic functions of Excel in creating a simple chart. So the next lesson, we will delve a little bit deeper into how to use some of the other functions. Excel is the kind of program where it really never ends, right? There's many, many things you can do in Excel. And so we'll go slowly and go through each video, sort of adding on as we go, and using this same basic chart where appropriate and when we can. Okay, thank you for watching.